25 News at 6 starts right now.
One life lost in this city is one too many. It doesn't have to be 3, 4, or 5 to make it, to bring this kind of gathering together. One life is one too many.
A violent weekend in Flint, leaving 3 people dead, 1 in critical condition, and 4 other people in police custody. The first, a triple homicide in the 1500 block of Illinois last Friday night. Then a shooting Sunday evening on Leith Street. Now, these 2 incidents leading to the police department and city leaders gathering this morning for a press conference to address them all. And while the identities of the victims and suspects have not yet been released, the message from the mayor and from Chief Johnson, they were directed toward the kids in the city, both touching on how many lives are impacted by violent crimes, saying it's not just the families of these victims, but the families of those committing the crimes, as well as the entire community.
We're going to continue to look at ways that we can address this and give young people what they need, but we know that there have to be some alternatives to thinking the only way you can do something is to kill somebody.
And one way city leaders are trying to combat this violence is by connecting with kids in the city. NBC 25's Leah Kamana joins us now to tell us how police officers themselves are really connecting with the kids here in the community.
Yes, Stephanie. There are programs offered through the police department, mayor's office, and several churches in the area. But one program Mayor Weaver mentioned this morning was the PAL program, also known as the Police Activities League. Reintroduced to the community in 2008 and located in the Haskell Community Center, its mission is to promote good citizenship standards while bridging the gap between the youth and the police. PAL offers a wide range of activities from sports leagues to arts and crafts, and program coordinators tell me they aim to create a safe environment to get kids off the street.
If you don't get your kids involved in something positive, the negative will find them in some way, shape, or form. So invest in your child's future of being here with you for the duration of their life and not through the duration of being locked up and needing law enforcement and in the wrong way.
Today was the first day of PAL's after-school program for the year, and kids are invited to gather Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6. So parents, if you're looking for something for your child, you're invited to take a tour and check the facilities out. In the studio, Leah Kamana, NBC 25 News.
Getting a live look outside into downtown Flint at this hour, and you can see another really beautiful day out there with the sun out now and the clouds a little cloudier than we were seeing last week, but still a pretty nice day to be outside. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Cagle to see what's in store for our Monday night.
Well, we do have some comfortable and somewhat seasonable temperatures, at least for the first day of fall. Normal high is about 69 or 70 degrees, and that's pretty close to where we ended up. Now, we have just a little bit of rain spilling in from the north right now. These showers are expected to hang in there for probably the next couple of hours. About 8 or 9 o'clock, our threat of rain really drops off. Mid 60s all the way to low 70s right now. So again, first day of fall, feeling like the first day of fall and how it should. Overnight lows, and for those temperatures, again, we're going to be down into the lower half of the 50s. Some upper 40s will be possible north of the Tri-Cities. Midland may see a 48 for tonight. And for that bus stop forecast tomorrow, sunny skies overhead, mild temperatures, maybe starting out with a light jacket or a hoodie, but into the afternoon, we'll be talking about some much warmer temperatures, and we do have the chance at some morning fog as well. All those details and a look at that temperature trend coming up in your Storm Ready weather forecast.
Right now, a meeting is underway in Thetford Township to discuss Police Chief Robert Kenney's future. Kenney was placed on leave in August of 2018 after being charged with embezzlement and obstruction of justice. 2 weeks ago, though, all those charges were dropped against him. Kenney has been accused of receiving 3 different checks worth $5,000 and depositing the money into his own account. Prosecutors say Kenney got the money after scrapping military gear. The township had received that through a federal grant. A Genesee County judge ruled there was not enough evidence to send this case to trial, and now Chief Kenney wants to go back on the job. NBC 25's Dave Bondi is live at that special township meeting happening right now. This is where the Township Board of Trustees is talking about Kenney's future. Dave?
Stephanie, this meeting just wrapped up a short time ago. Chief Kinney will not be back on the job anytime soon. We're learning a lot of new information that came out during this special meeting today. We have confirmed that the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office, they will file an appeal with the judge to try to get the charges reinstated in this case. That's the big information we got within the past hour. People for and against the chief, they came out, they spoke here, was very passionate within the last hour. Let's take a look. It was somewhat of a packed house here, lots of people, and they're still here right now. The Thetford Township attorney recommended to the township trustees that they don't even consider making a decision until the judge decides if he will consider the prosecutor's appeal. Now, the deadline to file an appeal is Monday, so break it all down to you. The courts could decide to reinstate the charges against Chief Kinney, or they may not. But the prosecutor had a deadline until next Monday to file those charges or to file the appeal, and that is why the township attorney suggested that the township trustees do nothing. We talked to one of the chief's supporters just a short time ago.
There is no new evidence for them to file the appeal. They can only file the appeal on new evidence. There is no new evidence, and this is all a personal vendetta against Bob.
Well, we did talk to the chief off camera. He did not want to go on camera, and when this decision was made, he left the room. He did not say anything about that. At the beginning of the meeting, though, he did tell me he thought that a decision would be made today not to put him back. He may not even have known about the appeal. My colleague, Alicia Bergio, she is here conducting other interviews and have complete coverage tonight coming up on NBC 25 News at 11. We're live in Thetford Township. Dave Bondi, NBC 25 News.
Meanwhile, the strike against General Motors by 49,000 United Auto Workers entered into its second week today. Progress is being reported, but no clear end is in sight. A person briefed on the negotiation says they're haggling about wages and profit sharing. Also, new products for factories and the use of temporary workers are also sticking points. The person didn't want to be identified, though, because details of the bargaining are confidential. NBC 25's Joel Fike is on the picket line tonight outside GM's Flint Assembly Plant with new details. Joel?
Steph, we were out here last Monday and these workers were singing. They were chanting. They were really revved up. Well, 8 days into it, the enthusiasm has gone down just a bit. Perhaps the reason is some of these workers are really starting to feel the pinch financially. On the picket line, workers told us they're making every dollar stretch since they really don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you don't go out to eat, you don't go out to concerts, you're basically just living on necessities.
Until the $250 a week strike pay comes, strikers are cutting back. Many still have house payments, a car note, and in some cases, alimony.
Rather than trying to go out or do something extra, and you're going to change the type of food that you're eating, you're going to get something that's going to last. Meatloaf is a good substitute.
One worker told me he saved his money and he's good for at least 3 months. But others are living paycheck to paycheck, relying on help from family members to get them through.
And you got groceries and you've got gas and there's other things that come up, that it's just risky.
Gagne and her husband, who works at the truck plant, are fourth generation GM workers. They remember just how bad it was in '98 when the union struck for 54 days.
Nervous, scared, not sure, what the outcome's going to be for anybody or any of us.
In the long run, the union says this strike is about America, about a middle-class way of life. But the workers we talk with say they are sacrificing now with perhaps fewer haircuts, fewer trips to the gas station, and meatloaf. Live in Flint, Joel Fike, NBC 25 News.
We have been getting a lot of pictures from UAW members on the picket line being sent to our Chime-In gallery, like this one from Janie of the Local 163 picketing in Romulus. And you can see more photos by going to our Chime-In section on our website. Just look for the UAW strike bubble. And if you want real-time updates on the UAW GM strike, all you have to do is go to the top of our website, NBC25news.com. We have a bar dedicated to this with all the latest information. You can also get to it by downloading our NBC 25 mobile app and stay connected while you're on the go. Antonio Brown says he's done with the NFL, but apparently he's not done with higher education. Up next, where he's going to college now that he's done playing pro football.
And the first day of fall feeling like the first day of fall should, but we do have some temperature swings coming up as well as a few rounds of rain. We'll break it all down for you in your Storm Ready weather forecast.
The new fall TV season gets started tonight. One of the shows NBC is launching is the legal drama Bluff City Law. Top corporate attorney Sydney Strait rejoins her father's civil rights firm after a family tragedy. It will be on right after the season premiere of The Voice at 8. Then join us for NBC 25 News at 11.
You're watching NBC 25 News at 6 with Stephanie Parkinson and Chief Meteorologist Jamie Cagle. You're watching NBC 25 News at 6.
From a football player re-enlisting in a local college just days after saying he's done with the NFL, to the vice president making history not once, but twice in Michigan this weekend. Let's take a look at what's trending right now on social media. Antonio Brown's schedule is free of football, so he is going to go back to school. The star wide receiver has enrolled in online classes at Central Michigan University. The Patriots released Brown Friday. It comes after he was accused of rape in a lawsuit by a former trainer. He was also accused of exposing himself to a painter he hired. Brown, though, has denied those allegations. Vice President Mike Pence's visit to the historic Grand Hotel for the Republican Party Leadership Conference marked some history-making events this past weekend. It's the first time a sitting vice president attended the GOP event. But that is not the part of the visit that has social media buzzing right now. Pence took an 8-vehicle motorcade from the airport to the island's Grand Hotel, making this the first ever motorcade on the island since vehicles were prohibited in 1898, which is drawing some criticism right now. People took to Twitter saying that it was rude, inconsiderate, and out of touch. Garrett went on to say, one of the greatest things about Mackinac is the atmosphere. Shame on him. And when President Gerald Ford visited the island in 1975, he traveled by horse-drawn carriage. But supporters of Pence noted security is much tighter now. Let's get a live look at traffic conditions right now. This is I-75 at Bristol Road. It looks like things are moving pretty smooth out there.
Now, your certified NBC 25 Storm Ready forecast.
Good evening, Mid-Michigan. Well, we welcomed in autumn with the feel of autumn, but don't lose hope. Temperatures still look like they could rebound, and we have the chance, maybe even seeing 80s showing up soon. Right now, take a look through our SkyCam network. You can see it's a beautiful mix of sun and clouds, but the cloud cover is dissipating. As time goes on, we're going to see less and less of that cloud cover overhead, and we're going to end up with clear skies over the lower peninsula. Chance of showers hanging in there, primarily north of the Tri-Cities, northern thumb, but these are going to be very, very spotty showers, not much of a threat. And high pressure moving in for at least a little while, coming in behind all this, and that's going to bring us a beautiful Tuesday. Temperatures looking really good. Yes, we get that little shot of cool air from yesterday's cold front that finally got through here yesterday into the later evening hours. There are some upper 70s just to the west of us, but the bonus is the dew points are looking really good. So it looks like we're going to enjoy some cooler, crisper air as we go into the evening hours, but we get to warm up into those mid 70s here pretty soon. Take a look at your Tuesday. Maybe a mix of sun and clouds for a time tomorrow. Really not that bad. And normal high, 68, 70 degrees or so. We're going to be into those mid 70s for tomorrow. Mother Nature still treating us very well. Take a look at your futurecast. Again, a couple of spotty showers hanging in there up to about 9 o'clock tonight might be about it. Going to start out with a little fog tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at visibilities in just a moment, but just want to show you that, yes, Tuesday is looking beautiful. And for Wednesday, I told you high pressure would only hold things off for a little while. As we get into Wednesday, the morning and probably the early afternoon hours, isolated rain, and then things quieting down for a time. That won't be the end of the rain, though, for this week. Futurecast visibilities, I think as we look west of the bay and to the northwest of the bay is where we have the best chance for dealing with some of that heavier fog tomorrow morning for at least a little while. By 9 o'clock, visibilities are already starting to improve. Give yourself a little bit of extra travel time. And you can see, as I mentioned, the rain chances don't really drop off as we get to Thursday. They pick up again for Friday and for Saturday. But I also mentioned that things would warm up again. Take a look at this. As we approach the early part of October, have a very sharp contrast with those temperatures and a strong indication of above normal temperatures. Now, the normal temp would be an upper 60, but with this kind of indication here, not going to rule out maybe an upper 70 for a time. This is after the 7-day forecast, which will include some nice temps. Take a look at this. Mid-70s for the next couple of days. Isolated rain. Morning, early afternoon for Thursday. Mainly dry, but a little cool down with that cold front coming through. Overnight lows look great. We're going to get some more scattered rain in here as we talk about Friday. Maybe some showers hanging in there for Saturday. South, again, towards the I-69 corridor. And again, definitely south of the Tri-Cities, the way things are looking. Rain is reintroduced for Sunday and Monday. It is isolated. And there's an 80 on the graphic there. Yes, 80 degrees. Not going to rule out those 80s just yet, or at least we'll be very close to it at worst case scenario.
That's what makes it hard to believe it's fall, is when we see 80 on that. Oh my
I
gosh.
always say Mother Nature never looks at the calendar.
Very, very true. Thank you so much, Jamie. Well, a new apartment building is giving new life to an abandoned Flint school. But with demand high, it might be hard to get one of these. We'll tell you what developers are doing, though, to help with that. A Flint elementary school that closed back in 2011 has been given new life. Today, there was a ribbon cutting held at the former Coolidge Elementary off Ballinger Highway. The building now holds new apartments and some commercial space as well. Another 4-story building was also added on the site. There are 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units here, but already interest is very high.
I think we've had over 200 and some applications already for just the 54 apartments that we have here, plus, our other units. So when people say, is it needed? It's absolutely needed here in our community, and we need to continue to do more.
Which they are doing. Wilson says his next project is right up Ballinger Road, the Berkeley Place Apartments, which are expected to have 33 units and cost about $8 million to build. The Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign led to police in Michigan making more than 9,000 traffic stops. The campaign ran from August 14th through September 2nd, and this happens during the end of the summer when more people tend to hit the road. More officers were out on patrol. They were looking specifically for distracted drivers. So more than 200 of those arrests were for drunk driving. 1,100 people were given speeding tickets. Officers also made 116 felony arrests. Here's a look at what's trending if you head to NBC25news.com. You can still wear shorts and t-shirts, but it's fall.
It is fall. We're going to start introducing more hoodie weather and sweater weather, but tomorrow, mid-70s. It might start out a little cool in the mid-50s, but mid-70s for the afternoon. We have comfortable sleeping weather coming up, but yeah, don't put those shorts away just yet. We do have some upper 70s to low 80s definitely down the road.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. There's a live look at Flint. We'll see you at 11.